Collector's Corner here. Today we'll be taking a look at Transformers Prime Voyager class Starscream. This is the mainline Starscream, not the first edition. So, let's get to it. You should be seeing the packaging he came in. He's packaged in robot mode, but I think it's better if we start in jet mode. And yeah, he's a very, very nice jet mode in his Prime incarnation. Close, he has a nice purple cockpit there. Very nice. Does not open, but it's there. Gray nose cone. This is soft and rubbery. Get some spikes on the side. Orange detailing on top. You do get some more orange detailing back here. Nice elongated wings here. Two-tone gray, or bluish gray, if you will. The nice fin here and the stabilizers. And we get a blue thruster. Not bad. Underneath, you can see his legs and his face right there. His feet, but not a lot of junk right there. He does get a couple of nubs for landing here. And this small nub right there for the front landing gear. That's what he rests on when you put him down. Like that. So yeah, he doesn't roll, but he can slide, if you will. But yeah, all in all, not a bad jet mode. He doesn't do much in the jet mode, but he is very, whooshable, flyable, if you will. Quite nice, very thin, not a lot of junk under the jet. So yeah. Yeah, the only issue here is this part, that's his waist. That kind of kills the aerodynamicity of the plane, shall we say. But yeah, otherwise it's pretty good jet plane. One of the better jet planes out there. Yeah. Accessories, well, he gets 3. He gets 2 little missiles, which are just done in gray, matte gray. That's a peg, they're exactly the same. And you can peg them in to the ports underneath the wings, like so. And now you have missiles. Looks pretty nice with the missiles. And his other accessory is this thing. This is his sword blade with the attack feature, where you hold him from your thumb on the peg here, and your index finger up here, and you extend it into a sword. Unfortunately, it doesn't stay extended. There's no way to lock it in place. It should turn on a little light there. I really don't have batteries for this right now, but it's just a consequential little light right about there. Right around there is the light. It turns on red, and that's all it does. And it doesn't actually lock in place, as I said. So yeah, it does have a battery compartment right there. It takes 2 LR44s right there. But yeah, it does have some nice detail on the blade, purple blade, but it doesn't actually lock, which is kind of sad. And he can't actually hold it like a sword because there's no peg for him to hold it from, which means it's even more useless. But yeah, on the plane, 2 places you can stick it on. You can stick it on one of those ports there on the wing using that screw hole right there, like so. If you really wanted to, you can use this port to plug it in. I mean, not this port, this peg. Sorry, you can use this peg to plug it into the ports for the missiles, like that. You can do, that if you really wanted to. Not sure why you would. Or you can plug it in as the instructions tell you up here. like so, and that's even less aerodynamic. But yeah, you can actually extend it there. Yeah. And he has that port so you can bake in a missile if you really wanted to. You can do that. But otherwise, yeah, this is a very pointless accessory. One can do without. So, there he is in his jet mode. So, let's move on to to comparison, shall we? Hi, if you're liking this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe below. It really helps us out. Now back to the review. Thank you. For comparison, here he is with the only other two bad guys I own from this show. The Viacon and Knockout. And yes, of course, being just a bit larger. Being Voyager, he's a bit larger. But yeah. Looks okay with his evil brethren there. Here he is with Prime from Prime. Any other look okay. Here he is with Siege. I mean Earthrise, not Siege. Earthrise Starscream. And yes, the Earthrise Voyager is quite a bit larger. Well, technically that's the Student Series leader, but what can you do? It's still a Voyager class figure. Yeah, all in all, pretty large. Here he is with the newest Seeker. Studio Series Thundercracker, again, fairly large. Yeah. And last, but certainly not least, here he is with Legacy Prime Dreadwing. And yeah, Dreadwing being leader class, he's much larger. But I think they look okay together. Kind of works. Being bad guys. Yeah. Not bad. So, we can now move on to transformation, shall we? And for transformation is fairly simple. You want to start by removing his missiles. I mean, you don't have to, but it's easier if you do. And you want to come up here and tab these side, what do they call them? Canards, I think they call them. So want to peg them. They do peg in to that port right there. That little port right there. Then you want to come into the nose cone and you want to fold it up. It is on a double hinge, so you fold it up and then fold the rest of the way on the other hinge, like so. Then you want to take the wings and fold them up all the way, like so. You want to come down back here and split the turbine here, like that and like that. To release his legs, and you can now fold them down all the way. And they technically are supposed to use the landing gear knob to kind of tab in there, but it doesn't really hold. It's just more of a suggestion. But it is there, and you can rotate his legs forward, pull up his little knee spike here, like so. Then you want to rotate the stabilizer around, like so, and pull up his toe, like so. Same thing on this side. Rotate the stabilizer, pull up the toe, like so. There you go. Then you want to come up here and split the fin and the fuselage up, like so. Let me raise this up a little. It's going to be a bit tall. And you want to rotate at this hinge, to the shoulder at that hinge, and rotate the whole section here to form the chest piece, and keep rotating the arm at that hinge, all the way around. And then the chest piece will tab in right there, like so. Then you can raise up his shoulder pad and fold down his arm, rotate his hand. Same thing on the other side, rotate his shoulder at that hinge, rotate it down, rotate in and tap chest in, rotate the arm down, flip up the shoulder pad, rotate down the arm, and there you have his arms. And you want to fold in or just slide in or hinge in the half of the stabilizer in there to his arm, like so, and like so. And there you have Starscream in his robot mode. And yeah, it's a fairly nice robot mode. We can get it to stand. There it is. There is Starscream in his robot mode. Yeah, it's a pretty nice looking robot mode, if I do say so myself. Pretty nice, very thin, lanky. It's getting close to his head. And there's his nice stylized face with a smirk. Nice red beady eyes. This little soft rubbery spike here. Nice, he does get a black Decepticon logo on his shoulder. He gets some red eyes on his chest for some reason. Translucent purple for the chest. And yeah, Collector's Corner of the Future here. Forgot to mention that he does have light piping on the back of his head, but since his eyes are painted red, yeah, that doesn't really work. But it is there. We can try and see what that does, but I don't think it's going to do much. Yeah, nope. Can't barely tell. I don't know. Light piping is kind of ruined by the red eyes, but it is there for some reason. Oh, right, the chest. Translucent purple for the torso, you can see right there. All in all, silver for the legs, very nice. The soft, rubbery knee spikes there. Nothing at the shins. You get silver toes. The back, he just gets the cockpit, so very clean back. Sorry about that sound, don't know what that is. Yeah. Overall, not a lot of backpack. Yeah, pretty nice. For his accessories, if he will stand for me, not topple over. There he is. His accessories, you can plug in the missiles on the wings, like that, or he can hold them from the pegs in his little lanky arms. Not the best, but you can't do. I forgot to show that off, right? He does have red, translucent purple forearms and very thin, very thin arms, hands. Yeah, posed. But yeah, the missiles should be up here for storage. And his blade here, you can tap it in his arm and again deploy the blade and it will light up. Oh. Sorry about that. You can deploy the blade on his arm, the ports there on his arm, Or, and this is what you should be doing if you have batteries for this, I don't, but you can tap it in to the back. This the other way around. I can't remember. Yeah, sort of like that. And theoretically, what's supposed to happen is when this is deployed and turned on, it should light up his torso there, but that's why it's translucent. It should light it up. I don't think it ever did all that well, but that's what you're supposed to do. Or he can hold it like a gun in his hands, like so. It's a bit heavy for his wrists. Yeah, anyway, about wrists, articulation. His head is on a ball joint. It can rotate all the way around. It can move forward, look down, which is very nice. It can look up. It's also very nice. Not much side to side, but there is a little. Yeah, all in all. Good range of motion on the head. Shoulders can rotate and pop off the ball joint. But they can rotate all the way around. They can open and close. Shoulder pads go up and down. Transpiration. He does get a bicep swivel, surprisingly enough. He does get an elbow, double jointed for transformation, so he does full range of motion there. And he does get a wrist, which rotates, moves a bit around. No waist, because of how he transforms. He can kick all the way up. Nice range there. He can kick all the way back. Again, very nice range. He doesn't get as much outward movement because of the high thigh here. So that's about all he gets. He does get rotation at the thigh. He gets single jointed knee at 90 degrees because the feet gets in the way. And his toes, they can't point down. They can't move up. But there's no ankle tilt, unfortunately. But yeah. Overall, he's a pretty nice figure. I like how he looks, lanky. You can't tell there's a jet there somewhere. Everything's very nice and tidy. Yeah, overall, pretty good. So now let's move on to comparisons. For comparison, here he is with Earthrise Starscream. You can see he's a bit taller than Earthrise. At the head and at the wings. Here he is with Studio Series Thundercracker. He will decide to stand. There he is. Again, slightly taller than Thundercracker at the head. Here he is with the other evil Decepticons I own from this line. And yeah, they look okay together with the other Decepticons I own from this line. Viacon and Knockout, I think look okay together. I never did get Megatron, sorry. Here he is with Prime from this line. And yeah, they look fine. Do like both these molds, really good. And last but not least, here he is with the recent Legacy Drapewing. And yeah, that's quite a beefy bot, but they look okay together, I think. Don't know if we're ever going to get an update to Starscream. Apparently for 2027 we have other things coming, but yeah, it'd be nice if we got something with a waist and ankles. Oh no, he's a pretty good figure. He does have a 5mm port between his thumb and his index finger, though it's not the most secure thing. They will fall off if you move them too much. But he can hold some weapons, especially ones that are not too heavy for his wrists. But anyway, overall, he's a pretty nice figure. I do like him. He does a really good job of hiding the robot mode, but in jet plane mode, I mean, you can barely tell there's a robot there. And in robot mode, you can barely tell there's a plane just because he has wings in the back. But otherwise, he's a pretty clean robot, and I do like him. It's a nice level of articulation by this time in the franchise. So yeah, he's pretty much all there except ankles and waist. But yeah, he's a really nice robot, all said and done. If you really like him, yeah, you should go out and find him on eBay or the like. I don't think he's too expensive right now. You can pretty much find him for cheap. There's a couple of different versions of this guy, and there's the first edition version, which will be a bit more expensive, but yeah, you can still find him around. In any case, yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe below if you liked the video. It really helps us out. Ring that bell to get notified for future videos. Follow us on Patreon, follow us on Blue Sky, check out the Transformers search website. I've just recently added 100 more figures to it. So we're now at 1900 plus figures. So yeah, you can go and check them out. The link will be in the description and the pinned comment below. So yeah, that's it for now. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.